How's it going, everyone? KayneHunterTaker here, and this is going to be a separate video. It's going to be for Kayne's bedtime, but I'm going to make this episode sort of separate from my normal episodes. Like, you know how I normally talk about things that have happened and, you know, really cool things that I've done. You know, I may have read a book that I really liked and all that stuff, and I'll talk about it in, you know, Kayne's bedtime. But for this, I had no idea how to do it. I didn't want to talk about it first, and then in the episode I'm talking about, you know, things like, oh, I'm so excited, and it's like, I feel like it's in poor taste. I don't know what it is. I've been really struggling to sort of talk about it, and I've wanted to sort of bring it up and just talk about it, and so I'll just Brodie Lee passed away. John Huber, Luke Harper, his real name's John Huber, I should have said first, but I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it, and it's been about a week and I'm still a little bit, you know, shocked over it. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, and just bringing it up, like I said, I really wanted to talk about him, and just when I watched him in WWE and all that, and him coming to AEW, so I thought I really wanted to talk about some of my favourite memories of him, and just to talk about how awesome he was. And like I said, I just felt like it was going to be in poor taste that I'd talk about him, and then, you know, in the next part of the video I'm thinking, you know, oh, look what happened here, you know. That's what I just feel like I said, it's going to be in poor taste. It's really hard to talk about these kind of things, and then I didn't want to do it at the end, if you know what I mean. It's been a bit of a I didn't know what to do, so I thought, for this, I will do just a special, in a memorial video in memory, you know, Kayne's bedtime in memory of John Huber, Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, and I think that's just a nice way to do it and keep it on its own. And I'm just never really good at things like this. I normally used to put a just a little picture before a video of someone who's passed away, and I haven't done that in so long. I sort of just fell off the track, especially when my uploads got really slack. Like, I wasn't uploading almost every day, and I think the last video, oh geez, that one really hurt. Rick Mail, I did a video in 2014 when Rick Mail passed away. That one, ooh, that one really hurt. It hurt that much. I made a video, and it's just like, you know, John Huber. It was just so shocking, and it was like when Eddie Guerrero passed away. Seeing the thing, I'm like, what? No! So it was after a split weekend. It was last week, Christmas Day, I think he passed, or maybe in the 26th we got the news, and me and Luke did our split weekend where, you know, my day starts at 5. My job doesn't start until 7, but I wake up at 5, I get ready, and I start work at 7. Then at 2 o'clock I come home, but then at 4 o'clock I go back to work and do work until 7, and I normally don't get out till 7:30. So that's 2 days straight. So I'm nowhere on the internet. The only time I go on the internet is, like, you know, checking before bed, and it's only my YouTube channel basically, and then I'll watch something, all that stuff. And then Sunday, you know, it was a long weekend. It was Christmas, yeah. It was a very busy weekend with Boxing Day. You know, families coming back, bringing their relatives in, like back from, you know, their visits to celebrate Christmas and all that stuff. And it was a really rough day Sunday. I just remember getting home and saying, look, oh, that was a rough weekend. So I had a shower and everything, and then I got onto my computer, and I have Discord, and I just chat to Luke. It's better than us just screaming across to each other's room. And he sent me a message, no fucking way. And he posted a link, and it was a Facebook link, if I remember, and I couldn't, and it doesn't really say what it is. And I clicked it, and it went, and it was that thing that AEW posted. I can never remember the term from. It was like a memorial picture. And at first I'm like, huh, what's happened to Brodie Lee? Is he, like, retired or something? No, oh, we're just in mourning. We're, like, remembering Brodie Lee and, you know, sending our love and support to his family. I'm like, what? No fucking way. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. You know, try and have a bit of, you know, respect. But that's what I was like. I was like, no fucking way. Unbelievable. And I thought, is it a hoax? I mean, is it You know, maybe it's just one of those things where an internet rumor spreads around, but no, it was true, and I wished it was, and I was like, no, I was really. Yeah. So we'll go back a bit. You know, when AEW first started, the first faction I remember going, I thought, oh yeah, I'm following these guys. The Dark Order, I just loved these guys, and when they had their first sort of appearance and then their first tag match, you know, Evil Uno and I forgot, I only ever remember Evil Uno and John Silver, you know, the world's, you know, best wrestler, John Silver. But I thought, you know, these guys are awesome. I'm a big fan. I'm always a big fan of sort of ominous characters and factions, you know, all that, like the Ministry, you know, those kind of factions. And I thought, yeah, these are great guys. I'm gonna keep my eye on them. I'm a big fan. And when they were sort of not appearing, I'm like, oh, come on, I want to see them wrestling and all that stuff. But then, you know, I liked the join us, you know, their video packages and everything. And then the Exalted One, you know, they're coming out, you know, the Exalted One is coming, you will fear him and all that stuff. And I thought, oh, I wonder who that's going to be. So then the day comes, it was Christopher Daniels, I remember, oh, there is no Exalted One, you're full of shit. And then, you know, the music hits and all that stuff, and then a voice speaks in this distorted tone. And I thought, oh, here it is, here we go. And walking into the screen was John Huber, and I'm like, oh, he's the Exalted One, fuck yes. And see, I kind of went a bit forward. I was a big fan of Luke Harper, like when he was Luke Harper in WWE, like when the Wyatt family, I was a huge fan of them. Going back, you know, I loved ominous factions, and when I watched NXT when it first started and the Wyatt family appeared, I thought, I love these guys. And Luke Harper, I was just such a fan of his ring work, especially when he was put into singles competition. And if I remember, he won the Intercontinental title at one point. I forget who it was, I cannot remember. But I loved his in-ring work, I loved his character, I loved his personality, and just his overall gimmick in a way. He doesn't talk, he just does his thing and leaves. I just always loved that about him. And then when he debuted on AEW as, you know, the Exalted One, I was like, holy shit, yes, I am happy. The Dark Order, I love them. And then Brodie Lee taking charge just made me love those guys even more. And it's just heartbreaking that it was so short that he was there. I feel like we only just got a taste of what, you know, I don't know what to. I know him as Brodie Lee. To me, he's Brodie Lee. You know, that's just who I know him as, and I was really looking forward to seeing, you know, him just go even further in his career in AEW. I was really, you know, maybe one day he'd become the AEW champion. You know, when he won the TV title, he absolutely demolished Cody Rhodes, and then it was like Cody was saying, he mentioned that Brodie Lee asked him, was it okay if I don't hook the leg? And that's like, so it's sort of like a frowned upon thing to do. And Cody was like, don't worry about it, do it, make it look awesome. And I think that's just what I loved with Brodie Lee. He was a team player. He was just the person you could always talk to. From what I could see, I think that's what really breaks my heart. See, I never knew him personally. I just knew he was awesome. I loved his in-ring work. But to see all these people coming out, writing all these things about Brodie Lee, how, you know, he looked after them, they looked up to him, he was the nicest guy you could ever meet. And it's just like, oh my God. We have just lost one of the greatest people in the wrestling industry. It's not fair. Like, it really isn't fair. I'm really bad with these kind of videos, but like I said, I really wanted to talk about him. I think when it's like, you know, my number one was always Kayne, and then when he sort of disappeared, I sort of lost my, you know, my big guy who's sort of dominant and very mysterious and all that stuff. Luke Harper, Brodie Lee, John Huber filled that role for me, along with like Finn Balor and all that. You know, these people that had really awesome gimmicks behind them that that they ran with and worked. They made it really good. And Luke Harper, Brodie Lee, John Huber, I'm just going to do that from now on because I can never sort of stick with a name. You know, any role he had, he just dominated it. He went 110, 150% with it, and I'm just so sad. That it was just so short with him in the Dark Order. It really was, and I think we will. I'd say I don't know really what I talked about all the the fun times with like WWE. Yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers. Like Luke loved the Bludgeon Brothers thing. It was the whole reason he made a Twitter account. He tweeted, "I want figures of these guys," because he asked, "Oh, who are they?" And I'm like, "Well, they were the White family, but they sort of done their own thing." But Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, they back together in a way, and it was just. He was very devastated as well. He couldn't believe it. None of us could believe it. It was really sad and tragic. And we haven't watched the tribute show yet on AEW. We're going to watch it tonight. But yeah, I thought, oh no, we won't do it today. It was New Year's. It's the 1st of January today, and we're still feeling a bit. We've had a bit of we got a tradition with the family. We watch Pirates of the Caribbean. We have pizza and all that, and drink, and. I thought, no, I want to, because I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow. But Luke said, I'm bringing tissues, I probably can't handle it. And I was telling him that I've been watching the WWE Network. When I reached the Owen Hart tribute show, I was blubbering. And it's been so, like, how long? And it's still, and I never, really saw him wrestling. But it's like, oh, like my throat's really sore. Like, I can't believe it. So, oh boy, it's going to be really hard, but I am looking forward to it. The card looks really good, and I loved his son. He made his dream match. That's going to be really good. And oh man, and I just saw the post where they've retired see, a lot of people were getting it confused. They haven't retired the TV championship. They're retiring the design. They've given it to his son, and I was like, oh man, that's really thoughtful. That's really nice, because Brodie was saying at one point that when he won the TV title, his son would sleep with it, and it was like, oh, that's very nice, very sweet, and then giving him the contract that when he's old enough he can wrestle in under AEW. AEW have just really gone, over the, what's the proper term for it? They've really made it special for Brodie Lee, to remember him by, and it's going to be a long time, before anyone could sort of. I don't mean to say forget. We will never forget him. Just like I've said, what I've seen, on the internet for this past week, that he was loved, and I'm so happy that he was, and there's just nothing negative about him, and I'm happy for that. We may have lost him, but we will never forget him, and I think we might end it there actually. I just wanted to do this video, and I'm going to do it separate from Kayne's bedtime. This is going to be a special in memory tribute to John Huber, Luke Harper, Brodie Lee, and yeah, very sad, very, very sad, and we'll end it there. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. I'm back. I forgot to talk about the moment that I knew this guy was the real deal. When I first started NXT, I was following it religiously when they would this is when I was still following WWE religiously. 2012, they were redoing NXT, and I thought, oh, this looks really good. And then, that screenshot or picture of the NXT title, and it was really shitty, and we're trying to see what it looked like. When I first saw the Wyatt family, and them wrestle for the first time, I thought, who are these guys? I knew who Bray Wyatt was. He was, oh shit, I've forgotten his name already. He was part of Core or Legacy. I can't remember, or the third generation, I can't remember, but basically I knew who Bray Wyatt was from when he was sort of a jobber at the time. Eric Rowan I wasn't really familiar with, and when I searched him up I didn't really see anything. But when I typed in Luke Harper, the first thing I saw, it was a video recorded in 2007 or something like that. It was a very, very old video. It was Brodie Lee, and he was really different. He had short hair and sort of like a mustache, or a handlebar mustache, and there was a guy at the other corner, and so the refs sort of, starting the match, make sure there's no dangerous weapons, and the guy's standing there like, oh yeah, you're so tough, I'm going to take you out. in like 3 seconds, Brodie Lee runs and boom, kicks him in the face. And I'm like, okay, I love this guy. This guy looks awesome. And that's when my sort of love for Luke Harper, I'm going to call him Luke Harper in WWE. You know, I just followed him and I really wanted big things for him. And then his program with like Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt for the WWE title was really, I was gunning for him to win. I really was. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to sort of, you know, come back after saying, you know, my goodbyes, thank you for watching all that stuff. But that was the one memory I wanted to talk about and I almost forgot. So yeah, we will definitely end it now. I think I've covered all the things I wanted to sort of remember and talk about, you know, John Huber, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and once again I'll see you all later.
Wake up your mind.